I'm always throwing shade. Okay, sorry for all those at home that are watching this. Hopefully there's a handful. We're talking about elimination here. And so y'all said, okay, there are no differences, or there's none of the things are exactly the same, so I can't focus on one or the other. So we're going to double this first situation. So double the first scenario. So how many bags of Brutus bites? 4 bags of Brutus bites. This would be helpful to write this down. Remember, you already split the paper, right? We should already have this on our sheet, but it'd be helpful to go ahead and write this down on that lined paper that I told you to cut in half. So there are 4 bags of Brutus bites, and how many bags of Lucky Licks?
6.
Right? Because I doubled everything that was purchased, what do we know is going to happen to the cost? It's going to double, right? If I doubled everything else, I got to double the cost. Now, because the Lucky Licks are the same, that means that there is no what? It's that term we keep using. There's no difference, right? So now, the difference in Lucky Licks is how much? I said it. Nope, the difference in Lucky Licks. There's 6 bags of Lucky Licks, and yep, the difference is 0. But how much of a difference is there in Brutus bites?
1.
There is 1 bag difference. Brutus bites for, what's the difference in price? Notice it went from 85 to 94.25. So for the $9.25 price difference. That's logically what we did. And so I believe we already wrote a system, most of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
What system do we write here?
2x plus 3y equals 42.50, and 5x plus 6y equals 94.25. And then you gotta put that little line.
What line?
The system line.
Is it a system line?
Curly bracket.
Yeah, curly brackets, right. Notice that's just 2 random equations right now. I need a system that groups those 2 things together. Okay? I want y'all to notice, logically, what was the first thing you did? You double the first scenario. Hey, what are we going to do here first? Algebraically, what are we going to do?
Double.
We're going to double. Because notice, is anything the same right now?
No.
No, but if I double it, and please notice this. All right, quick thing I want you to notice. This is important. See, I put parentheses around the entire thing, and I put times 2 there. That means I'm multiplying everything times 2, doubling it all. Now, when I start solving it, I am not going to put the curly bracket on there. I'm just going to drop the curly bracket during the solution process. The curly bracket makes it a system. But now I have 4x plus 3y nope,
6 1.
thank you, plus 6y is equal to $85. And I already had 5x plus 6y is equal to $94.25. Does that look familiar? This is just an algebraic, succinct way to write this.
Nice.
Thanks. Common math thing to do. So what did we do next? We looked at the differences, right? What mathematical operation is a difference? Subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 5x. I'm going to add a negative, which is subtracting,
0.
and subtracting. What is 4x minus 5x?
1.
Negative 1x. Okay, that's a little weird because we didn't get a negative before, but let's see how it works out. What's 6y minus 6y?
0.
0. Okay, cool. So that's gone. And we wanted something to cancel, right? And what's 85 minus 94.25? Close. Say again.
925.
Negative 9.25. Well, that makes sense now because a negative and a negative. What am I going to have to do at this point? Divide by a negative what?
Negative.
Just the negative 1. I want the x there. Negative 1 divided by negative 1? 1, right? 1x is equal to negative 9.25 divided by negative 1.
Positive 92. No, 9.25.
What do we mean by x equals 9.25? I just thought about that. Have you thought about that? What do we mean when we say x equals 9.25?
X is the equivalent of 9.25.
Yes, but I feel like there's more meaning to it.
The price of each bag for Brutus bites is $9.25.
The price of what?
The Brutus bites.
How'd you know that? Did I ever explain what x was? Should I have? When I make an equation or system and I use x and y, I should define those variables. Because if I had written x and said the price per bag of Brutus bites, that would make things a lot easier, right? Oh, it's $9.25 per bag of Brutus bites. What did I mean by y earlier?
Price.
Lucky licks?
Lucky lick.
Okay, so price per bag of LL for Lucky Licks, right? Now that makes sense. Am I done though?
No, you gotta find lucky lick.
I gotta find Lucky Licks, right? Okay, so logically, right, when we come back to elimination in a second, logically, now that I found 925 for Brutus bites, how could I figure out Lucky Licks?
Do the same thing.
I'm gonna do the same thing?
No, you just,
Go through all that work again?
no, you're just gonna plug in 9.25 for DD. Just do it.
Okay, now one thing, and so Mr. Lipman and I have been talking about this and we want to get a little bit better about this. What's the more mathematical term for plug-in?
Substitute.
Yeah.
There we go, substitute, right? So the idea is that we're going to substitute. Now that's more of an algebraic idea. If it's $9.25 per bag of Brutus bites, how much money was spent on Brutus bites? If we spent $9.25 per bag of Brutus bites, how much was spent on Brutus bites? How can I figure that out?
Multiply 9.25 by 5.
Okay, now which situation are you looking at?
The second one.
Okay, so notice we've got to think about which situation. Okay, so in the second situation, what is that? 40, please check me on this. 46.25 was spent on Brutus bites, right? You said 5, that's coming from 5 times 9.25.
Let's say negative 16.
Negative 16. Where are you looking?
Oh, I don't even pay no attention.
The 46.25?
No.
Okay. So notice that's that 5 times 9.25. That was what was spent on Brutus bites. So if $46.25 was spent on Brutus bites. How much was spent on Lucky Licks? How would I figure that out?
Subtract 46.25 from the total.
Right, we spent a total of 94.25. We just said 46.25 of it was on Brutus bites. So $48 was spent on how many bags of Lucky Licks?
5. Wait,
6.
2, 6.
6.
Yes,
Which would be how much per bag?
it's
$8 per bag. Man, that's a lot of writing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
not really.
Oh, I hate writing. Not really. Actually, I started to enjoy writing the older I
Oh
got.
my God.
What?
I mean, it is kind of satisfying.
But it's not English, Brian. Or it's supposed to.
Hey, what's the point of English?
Learn. Read.
Learn what? Read what?
it. Read.
Read stories? What are stories though? A way to communicate with people?
No.
Hidden messages.
Yes.
It's not hidden messages. There may be some hidden messages, but it's literally a way to communicate with people. Hey guys, what is mathematics?
Money.
A way to communicate with people.
Now,
Numbers.
English and math have the same goal. They're just different objectives. They're different modes of communicating with people. That's it.
I got a question.
I don't have an answer. I'm just kidding. What you got, Dewan?
Alright, so you know this math we doing right now.
Yeah.
Will we do this in the real world at the hospital?
No.
Can you? Yes.
No, I'm talking
But
will.
will we?
It depends.
Will.
No.
You say no. You don't know what you're going to do. I didn't think I was going to use this at all in my undergraduate degree, but I ended up using it a ton in engineering.
You'll also use
I'm talking about out of school.
Wait, you already used
In
this
engineering, what do you think engineers do? Do you think they just sit at a school all day? No.
We ain't got to learn this engineering.
Systems, though, I want you to think about this.
Yeah.
Systems.
I'm not
We're just
engineer.
representing two different situations at a time. Are there things in this world that have two different situations going on at the same time? With multiple unknowns happening?
Yep.
So can you?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Do most people exist without doing systems in their life? Yes. Could systems help make their lives a little bit easier?
Yep.
Could they make sense of the world around them with systems?
Yep.
Yeah. Not saying that you have to, but I'm saying it can help you.
I know you gonna have to know this stuff if you go to school and get a job that you gotta calculate stuff with. I'm talking about like, say if I work at Mercedes and what I have to do that.
I don't know the answer to that because I've never worked at Mercedes. Here's what I can tell you. This is thinking. This isn't memorizing processes. This is learning how to think. Notice how it literally says logic right there? And we're connecting our logic, our thinking, to what we're doing algebraically. I don't care what job you do in the future, you gotta know how to think.
Basketball.
You
The
not know
best
that.
basketball players can think on the court.
Well, I can think pretty good.
That's good IQ.
Well,
Yeah, I got a good IQ, but I'm not gonna learn math on the court. I'm not no genuine.
I mean, you can learn the force and gravitational pull on a basketball. So
It's
you
true.
Shoot.
Here's something I need you to understand. The best basketball players ever,
Practice on
very
their game.
intellectual people.
They practice on their game every day.
They do, but they also sharpen their minds. You cannot be the best person you want to be until you learn to sharpen your mind.
Reggie Miller. He was.
Who? Who?
Reggie Miller. You know Reggie Miller?
I don't.
He's one of like the greatest 3-point shooters.
Gotcha.
Better than Steph Curry.
Are you trying to say he's dumb?
He is. He don't.
Because
Now,
Steph,
those guys,
that's a smart dude.
those guys
LeBron
study
James?
film all the time.
Yeah, LeBron James, smart dude. They've
But I
learned how to.
know he don't remember none of this.
But you know what he has learned how to do? He's learned how to think. And
Yeah, everybody know how to
hey, Dewan,
think.
I got some information for you.
Oh.
You too short to be LeBron.
Hey. I am.
I'm not. I'm really not.
Yes, you are.
I'm talking to you.
That's not hard to do, bro. Like, congratulations, you're taller than your 5'8" teacher.
You still
Yeah.
can't dunk.
I can.
No, you
Okay, regardless, it doesn't matter. Like, what you're failing to understand is I'm saying you don't need to memorize a bunch of stuff. You need to learn how to think. Those people are intelligent. They learned how to think.
So you think they dribbling the ball and be like, okay, 4x equals
They learned how to think. Where did I say anything about this specific equation? No, I said that they learned how to
I'm
think.
not doing this, man, because he's trash. For real.
Okay, let's get back to the math. But Dwan, you gotta learn how to think. This is just a way to teach you how to think. This is just a way to teach you how to communicate. And I've been up at this board, honestly, way longer than I want to. What do I usually have y'all do every single day?
do it by itself?
No, I don't. Work groups. You know what you're gonna have to do no matter what career you want to do?
Hey,
You're gonna have to think, you're also gonna have to know how to talk with people. Interesting, you're learning both those skills in this class.
Well,
It might be important.
It's not that hard to talk to people, for real. You just,
It is when it comes to learning stuff from other people. Have you ever been on Facebook or Instagram and seen people shouting at each other on their feeds about different ideas where they don't try to learn from each other, they just try to tell the other person they're wrong?
yes.
Yeah, that's a problem. I'm trying to teach you how to communicate and try to learn with each other. Ask questions. Don't throw insults. Don't tell people they're wrong.
What if they are wrong?
Huh?
What if they are wrong?
How do you know?
Because what do you got to prove?
I dude named Demons and he.
Everyone can twist proof any way they want.
Now what are these straight facts, like out of the book straight facts?
Tell me one.
Alright, say if a dude say 2 + 2 = 1. And then like you wrong, he like, no, I'm right. Then you already know it's 4.
I believe technically there is a way to prove that using something called circular logic, but we're going to get away from that.
Wait, huh?
They're modular arithmetic, I think is what it's called. Does that sound right?
Are we learning that this year?
No!
It's just,
It's a different way to do math. But here's what I need you to understand. You just said something and you believed it to be 100% true. What if instead you asked the question, hey, is this true? Instead of shouting at people, instead of telling everyone they're wrong, if more people took the time to ask questions, because maybe they are wrong, but is anyone ever going to listen to someone else when they're being told, hey, you're wrong?
Nope.
No. Are you ever going to listen
I
to
mean, they
anyone?
gonna think about it and be like, am I wrong or am I
No,
right?
you're not. If someone is a jerk to you and straight up is like, yo, Dwan, that's stupid, you're wrong. Are you going to listen to what they have to say?
I'm gonna be like, am I? Oh.
No, you're going to be like, forget you, man, except you're going to use a different F word. Alright? Like, don't kid yourself.
The one.
This is why we need to learn how to learn together, to talk through ideas. And say, that is a skill that most people don't have.
What?
Learning together, talking through ideas to learn together. That's a skill that y'all need to work on.
What type of skill is
I
that?
mean, we communicate with people.
Yeah, we communicate, but it just
No.
not your
no,
way.
Listen,
Not your
no.
way.
You tell people. You don't listen to people.
Oh, I actually do. But
Communication requires both telling and hearing, but it also requires that you ask questions, and we don't ask questions.
well,
There's no well.
I
This is a
get
skill. No. This is where we're ending the conversation, so we gotta get back to math. You gotta learn how to do that. Plain and simple. So, I want you to notice though, this algebra makes this whole process easier. Notice all we did is we plugged 9.25 in, or substituted 9.25 in for x. 5 times 9.25 plus 6y is equal to 94.25. Well, that is 46.25, which we said logically, didn't we?
Just to let you know, that color is pretty hard to see.
Thank you. Forget that color.
Oh my God. Rufus.
46.25 plus 6y equals 94.25. Using our inverses that we have learned, creating that 0, 6y is equal to 48.
You divide
So
it.
6 bags of Lucky Licks are $48 divided by 6. Y, the price per bag of Lucky Licks,
$12.
is $8.
Oh.
No, you're wrong.
Oh, now I know I'm wrong.
Wrong, man. Can't be wrong.
Alright, we don't have a ton of time, but number 2 is done. I want you working within your groups on 3 and 4, this same idea of elimination by logic on the left-hand side of your paper. After you do the elimination by logic, do the elimination by algebra. Sound good? We understand what we're doing?
Yeah.
Bet. Let's get to work. After you finish copying this down. I'll come around and check on how you're doing. Sorry that took longer than I expected it to.
No, that was good. That was good speech.